I'm Stella, and I'm a senior at Eureka High School. I'll be talking about crime prevention through environmental design. The city engaged in community-based planning, where several meetings were held with local citizens to discuss their concerns and ideas for the park. The high rate of crime was a huge community concern. Neighbors and longtime residents met and shared unsavory behaviors they've witnessed at the park, which have been occurring off and on for around 40 years, and local law enforcement echoed those concerns. So, utilizing SEPTED principles is one of the main goals of the 2030 park renovation project, which will greatly improve the park. Let's explore what that means. The acronym CPTED, pronounced SEPTED, is defined as a multidisciplinary approach for reducing crime through urban and environmental design and management. SEPTED strategies aim to reduce victimization, deter offender decisions that precede criminal acts, and build a sense of community among inhabitants. And here is an overview of the new park design. We'll delve deeper, but the new design includes SEPTED principles. 2030 Park's new design is intended to discourage unsavory uses by encouraging an increase in healthy, appropriate uses. And part of that is designing and locating features that are visible out in the open and not hidden by structures or covered by overgrown landscaping, which comes to visibility and design. These bushes located on the California Street entrance block the park view for law enforcement on patrol, so they will be removed, and that area will be replaced with amenities and native plant landscaping that allow for increased visibility. This corner of the park is also an issue. It is not easily visible from any street view and does not currently provide any appropriate use. So it'll be turned into a picnic and barbecue area, which should encourage positive use, healthy use of the park area, deterring negative use. The location of this storage building also obscures vision and attracts negative use by having its backside secluded up against this neighboring fence. Plus, it's known to attract vandalism for years. It will be removed, opening up visibility to the new picnic and barbecue area, visible from the north side of Pine Street. The current children's play structure is not visible from some areas of the park, which is a safety concern for parents. A new playground will have a fenced area for youth under 5 and will be in the central area of the park to improve visibility for families. Many other park elements will be placed strategically to improve visibility, and new visible access points are located adjacent to high-use areas. All the entrances at 2030 Park lack definition, and the uninviting entrances deter people from entering the park. This south entrance to the park features an end sign for the end of Summer Street, and it has a gravel parking lot that is hidden from law enforcement view. The north end is completely open to the street, but it has no defined entrance. There are 4 main entrances, an access entrance, and an entrance by the Jacob Haney baseball field. The upgraded entrances will vary, but will most likely include features such as the signage with park information, lighting, trash and recycling bins, dog stations, native planting, and hydration stations. Lighting and parking are also issues at the park. There are only 2 light poles. At night, the large field is very dark and allows for increased criminal activity. So new solar-powered lights will be added to increase usable park hours and make visitors feel safer while visiting the park. And currently, there's minimal places to park on the north side and a limited gravel parking lot on the south side. The new parking lots will have strategic placement with all cars being able to look toward the park and see its features in a wide view. The lack of parking also deters events where lots of people can attend. So at the park currently there are no restrooms. So a new building for restrooms will be added and located near the main parking lot. People feel safer using the restroom when it's in a highly trafficked area and where it's visible. Plus, the park will have a new mural project with Empower Eureka, which is a program designed to give community members volunteer opportunities to take direct action on pressing social issues. An event will be held to create a mural with design and execution help from residents. A project like this helps build a sense of ownership and pride relating to the park and will help strengthen motives to maintain the cleanliness and beauty of the space. And that is where I will end my presentation and pass it on to Christina Smith.
Thank you, Stella. Good evening, Council. My name is Christina Smith, and now we're going to take a look at the brand new accessibility and the future of the 2030 park. Now, you may be wondering why accessibility is crucial to 2030. In the planning process, many accessibility challenges were identified: site parking and access, pathways through the park, and play activities and equipment within the park. Adults with mobility challenges expressed difficulty engaging with their children in the current park play spaces, and seniors with disabilities said walkways are difficult to navigate. As you can see, the curb is very tall, which poses not only a tripping hazard, but also difficulty for those with wheelchairs, as does the gravel, since it is loose and easily able to be tripped upon. Now, Humboldt has one of the highest adverse childhood experience study, ACE scores, in the state. High ACE scores are linked to a variety of challenges, from depression to drug use. Parks with a variety of amenities can, well, not only help with access to exercise, but also help provide the social and emotional stimulation some children may need, but not otherwise have access to. In addition to the youth, our community needs accessibility and inclusivity more than most. 4.1% of children alone in Humboldt County have major disabilities, compared to the 3.1% of children throughout the state. Furthermore, according to the 2015 census, 17% of all Humboldt County residents have disabilities. Even with all of this, currently the nearest fully ADA accessible park is 11 miles away in Arcata. As you can see with this image, such as the roots and the uneven sidewalk going into the wood chips, there are no ADA approved entrances, and the surfacing is also not currently ADA accessible as well. Here's how our city plans to change that fact with the future of 2030 Park. As you can also see with the vandalism on the play structures and the seating, there's limited outdoor heating, there's limited benches, no place for children to play, broken or dilapidated basketball hoops, limited sports courts. All right. Now you ask what will be updated for the good of the people. The new 2030 park will be accessible to all who may come and visit through ADA accessible parking, wheelchair accessible pathways, ADA accessible restrooms, a sensory stimulating and accessible playground, seating areas for those of us who need a rest, water fountains that are ADA endorsed for our thirsty community members, sidewalks to walk on or use with a wheelchair, walker, or stroller to and from their car or home, exercise stations that are wheelchair accessible, and even better yet, community events with the new ADA accessible barbecue and seating area that will bring us all together to understand one another and work to create a better Eureka. Additionally, the baseball field will also be renovated. This project will expand access to the field and allow for more opportunities to play baseball with increased recreational opportunities for families in the neighborhood. Whether it be an intellectual, sensory, physical, or social disability, or people from any age background, these are just a few of the features of the new 2030 park that will improve inclusivity, accessibility, and promote health benefits, which my fellow member, Tristan Green, will teach you all about. Take it away, Tristan.
Hi, I'm Tristan Green, and I will be speaking on the health benefits of parks. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, when parks are available to city residents, the amount of people exercising at least 3 times a week goes up by 25%. Stress, physical health, blood pressure, and mental health are all correlated positively to spending time in parks. Parks with shared play spaces can increase socialization, diminish the feeling of isolation, and encourage community camaraderie. Parks are a great place for children and families to connect with nature, have fun, attend events and programs, and overall promote a better quality of life. Currently, 2030 Park has limitations for physical activity and overall park usage. It lacks an adequate amount of exercise and play equipment for the nearby population, and lacks the type of equipment available to accommodate all abilities and ages, including no proper play areas for children under 5. It has barriers for those needing to have ADA accessibility, a lack of modern amenities like no restrooms, no water fountains, no picnic tables, only 2 benches, and no bike racks. A lack of variety and safety, as there is only 1 game court, which is right by the street. Because of these limitations, 2030 Park size is not being used to its potential. Equipment and features for all ages and abilities is not met. A lack of modern amenities hinders the ability to host activities, camps, and community events. Not being able to access water or go to the restroom means going to the park for hours at a time is not really feasible. The lack of variety and safety makes the current features undesirable, and not having a bike rack limits the ease of enjoying the park for bike riders if they have to carry around their bike. When the park does have these things, then many people will be able to go and exercise for much longer and have a more enjoyable experience. There's a high need in this area for these limitations to be improved. There's a senior center and a preschool within walking distance from 2030 Park, and statistics show there's a high number of youth and seniors that live nearby too. High number of households without access to a car, limiting their ability to visit other, more improved parks. There's also a high poverty rate, limiting the financial ability and opportunity for alternate recreational activities. A portion of the housing around the park is densely populated apartments, most with units that do not have green space safe for children to play in. In addition, 62% of California residents live in areas with less than 3 acres of parks per 1,000 residents of open space. But as you can see, the area of 2030 Park is actually less than 1 acre per 1,000 residents. So that's a lot of people without a lot of park or open space. Here's the plan to fix those limitations for 2030 Park. Multi-use athletic courts that support volleyball, pickleball, and tennis. A new fenced basketball court that can allow for roller hockey. ADA multi-use path curving through and around the park to support jogging and walking. Outdoor gym with fixed exercise equipment. A new fenced inclusive playground for ages 0 to 5, and an inclusive playground for ages 5 to 12. As for leisure and activities, they have a picnic and barbecue areas, seating areas that will create comfortable spaces for parents, grandparents, caregivers to rest and watch while children are playing, a rentable concession stand available for events, new drinking fountains with water bottle refill stations, new restrooms, at least 17 new trees, which will improve air quality and create shade. New landscaping with native plants will improve biodiversity and attract pollinators. Landscaping that will collect and filter runoff, pet waste stations, bike racks to encourage biking to the park over driving, and finally, public art opportunities that will enhance the appearance, encouraging residents to feel proud of their park and community.